Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-anbiya wal mursaleen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Dr. Abdul Aziz, oncologist. We all study and then teach medical sciences throughout our life. But very occasionally we ponder our anatomy, physiology, and other functions the way our Creator wants us to ponder over it. So in this connection, I will share with you some information regarding the human cell. But first, I will share with you the Quranic ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invite us to ponder over this ayah. And there are similar other ayah also. So this one is from Surah Fussilat, ayat number 54. In this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ. We shall show them our portents on the horizons and within themselves until it will be manifest unto them that it is the truth. So in this connection, I will share with you the basic unit of human life or human being is the cell. That how a cell is complicated and its function are so much complicated that even till now the scientists, they cannot say that we know each and everything about the cell. The cell was discovered around 1665, and since then the work, experimental work is going on the human cell, and every year you will find the new information about it. As you all know, the cell is the fundamental organizational unit of the life, and our human body is composed of trillions of cells. The cell overall cell around 75 to 80% is water, and the cell is composed of cell membrane. First, this cell membrane, it separates the cell from other cells as well as the other tissues in the body, and this cell membrane is very selective in allowing the things to enter in the cell and also the exit from the cell to the outside environment. Then the cell is composed of cytoplasm. It is a jelly-like material and in which all the organelles of the cells are there, and various metabolic functions they occur within the cytoplasm. Then the cytoskeleton is a fibrous framework of the cell which maintain its shape. And we know the cell has different shape, different sizes, and different functions in every organ system of our body. Although their basic structure is almost the same. You will find the cell in the nervous system is different than the cell in the heart muscle, then the cell in the liver, and then cell in the muscle and the bone, and so on. Their basic structure, the unit what is composed of is the same, but the functions vary depending upon the organ, and the shape also it varies. Similarly, the nucleus is, every cell has the nucleus, and the nucleus is, we call it the command center of the cell, where it gives information for various activity in the cell, including synthesis, any whatever the maintenance function is required, the information comes from the nucleus. And we know the DNA is inside the nucleus, whereas RNA is the one which brings information from the nucleus to various parts within the cell. So itself is a big project in itself, a cell. Then there is a endoplasmic reticulum. So this is, we can say, is a transport system inside the cell. It transports the various proteins and things within the cell from one part to another within the cytoplasm, as well as with the help of the Golgi apparatus, it transports the things outside the cell also. Then there are lysosomes and peroxisomes. These we can call as recycling center of the cell, where if by chance any bacteria or virus enters the cell, it destroys them, as well as the cell which are of no use or dead cell, it digests them and remove from the cell. Then mitochondria is, we usually call it as the powerhouse of the cell, where it generates the energy received from the food and then convert it into a form which is used by the cell and various organelles in the cell. Similarly, the cell, in addition to maintaining this basic structure, the cell also is responsible for division. So this division occurs at two levels. One we call it, as you all know, mitosis, and another is the meiosis. So mitosis is usually from the 2 to 4, 4 to 8 and like that, whereas meiosis is, especially it occurs in the sex cells, where genetic information is passed on from the one generation to the another generation. And while selecting this genetic information, they make it sure that any change in this genetic information doesn't occur. Suppose we know this genetic information in the form of DNA and RNA is made up of amino acids. So this amino acid at its particular location has to be there. Even if one amino acid is replaced by another one, or its position is changed, it totally changes the genetic makeup of the cell. So the exact copying and then transfer to the next generation is extremely important for healthy and complete human being. Initially, as I said, the cell first was discovered in around 1665, and since then a lot of work has been done about the description of the cell and various components of the cell. But when the electron microscopy it came in 1930, it almost changed, because it magnifies around 5,000 fold, magnifies the view of the cell. So various organs, they have been studied widely. Then recently immunohistochemistry in 1940, and then FISH, what we call fluorescent in situ hybridization. When this came, again the study of the cell was it was increased immensely. And the last but not the least, because you can imagine the study of the cell is still incomplete. We don't know in future, after 4, 5, 10 years, what more information will be there. So now there is a project called Human Cell Atlas, and another one, Human Genome Project. So these two are the project are supposed to study all the trillions of the cells of human body and their genetic makeup, so that the scientists, they know what is the cause of genetic cause or minor causes of the disease, and then what are the ways to treat these disease or to prevent these diseases. So from this very small description of a cell, which is the basic unit of a human being, of any human being or living organism, you can imagine how complicated and how complete is in itself. By the way, the cell is a Greek word which called a room. Cell in Greek means a room. So in room, everything is available there to maintain the life and to sustain the life. And exactly similar is the situation of a human cell. So after all these information, if we go back to the ayah, and you will agree with me that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this ayah, this is 100% true. That Allah said, I will show you our portents on the horizon and within themselves, until it will manifest unto them that it is the truth. And another ayah which is maybe pointing towards the same thing is about that how exactly and how minutely the things are within the cell. how minutely and delicately these things are set, that even a minor change will disrupt the whole process. And this is what in ayat number 49 in Surah Qamar, it says, Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu biqadar. Lo, we have created everything by measure. Now, if you compare what is very small superficial information about the cell, you can realize that really it is how minutely it has been established to have a normal function of a cell, not to talk of the whole human being. And another ayah, which is from the Surah Rahman, in which Allah says, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, which is it of the favors of your Lord that ye deny. So it's very clear from this description that we need basically the Quran demand from us that we should read the Quran with understanding and then ponder over its meaning. Then only we will be able to explore the things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to know, and then our iman will be very strong, and then we will also obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world. And if we all have to die, but if we die with iman after obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah we will be successful there also. And by mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we are successful there, He will grant us Jannah, and this is the greatest achievement ever a human being can have. I hope this information will help us to think over the meaning of the Quran. First we should read Quran, and then try to read with meaning, and then ponder over the meaning of the Quran, so that our iman will be more strong, and stronger is our iman, more we will be able to collect hasanat in this dunya, and inshallah we will die with with a lot of hasanat, and inshallah we will be successful there, and we will end up in Jannah. I hope this information will be helpful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.